Hello and welcome back to the Stylish Study podcast, where we chat all things revision and everything they don't teach you at school. Today on episode 3, we are going to be talking about saying yes and what that can mean for you as a student. So what do I mean when I'm talking about just saying yes to everything? Well, I mean when you get given the opportunity to volunteer, please say yes. This has been something that has been absolutely invaluable during my school experience and something that I am always going to tell you guys to do, because this is something that they don't ever teach you about at school, but will really honestly help you during your school process, during your UCAS application, and even with your CVs in the future. This is something that if you start doing now and implementing into your life, you are going to have so much success later on. So who am I recommending doing this volunteering? Well, for anyone that is around year 11 up to year 12 age. The reason why I haven't said year 13 is because you are going to be so very busy doing your A-levels. So if you wanted to do anything after summer, then go ahead, feel free. But mainly for year 11 students during your long summer holidays, and year 12 students when you have free periods, please try and make the most of them with a bit of volunteering. I would never ever be that person that was like, yeah, okay, I'll go volunteer, like I'll go help them, yeah, that sounds really fun, because at the end of the day, 1, it didn't sound very fun, and 2, I just never really was that person to go and like do things and get extra opportunities if I could sit in the sidelines. But when I started volunteering, 1, I actually really enjoyed it, and I'm going to talk about a few experiences of my volunteering because one of them is actually quite hilarious and I think you'll get a good laugh out of it. But the rest of it just really helped me. It helps you grow as a person. You will get a lot more communication skills, planning skills, organising, talking to different people is really going to help you. Also, it's going to be something that you can really write down, milk, and absolutely make the most out of in any application process that you go through in your life. So why is this so valuable for a student? First of all, if you are thinking about going to university, you are going to have to do something called a personal statement. If you don't know what a personal statement is, it's essentially where you write down things about you, what you've done, and why you should be allowed to do that course, because you're trying to sell yourself to that uni. Without having volunteering experience, unpaid work, getting out into the community, helping other people, and demonstrating your skills, you are going to find it so hard to write that personal statement. Trust me when I say that, because I did about 3 or 4 volunteering experiences within year 12, I was then able to write about a paragraph and a half just out of that volunteering experience. Now you might be thinking, okay Ella, but I want to apply to uni and I want to become an astrophysicist, and I am not going to be able to get on a plane to the moon. You don't even get a plane to the moon, you get a rocket. Anyway, I'm not going to be able to get to the moon. I don't care. You can still volunteer. So I applied to uni to actually do social media and communications. I also applied to do fashion, and I also was going to apply to do business. None of those things actually panned out for other reasons, but it's not about what you do. It's about how you can pull out the skills from that. So I'm going to share with you my experience now. It was a bit of a weird volunteering experience, I'm not going to lie. You probably won't go through something like this. However, it was quite a funny day. We met quite a few lovely people and me and Ez had a great time. So again, Ez is popping up. Me and Ez did this together. Our school asked us if we wanted to volunteer at the Literary Festival, which is basically like a book festival that is near our school. Every year they have this, and every year I think they ask sixth form students to help out because they just need extra hands. We did this during year 12. I think it was actually the first day of the October half term of year 12. So really early on in year 12, we were like, yeah, we're doing our grades. We're going to add some things to our personal statement. We're going to get some experience. We were the only 2 people that volunteered for this, and we had to go to a big meeting with loads and loads of people that were all like really involved. They knew exactly what they were doing. They were setting up their stalls. There were like authors there, and we were like, oh my god, like what is this? We had no idea what we were doing. We were literally 2 16-year-olds just sat there looking at each other like as you do. So anyway, we'd gone to this meeting the first day to establish what we were actually doing. And then the next day we were told to turn up. I think it was quite early. We went there And we didn't know what we were doing still because they didn't actually get to us during the meeting, and we hadn't met the person that we were going to be working with for the day, so we didn't really know what we were doing, and we had no idea what to expect, and we just thought, okay, we'll stand around, we'll help out some kids. So the first day of this festival was full of primary schools, and we were helping out to just kind of not keep control of them because that's what their teachers were doing, but just when they were doing an activity, we would stand at the side. If they needed extra glue, we would get that for them. All this stuff. We met our guide that we were going to be helping because we were in charge of this one area, and this guy needed help. The whole day we made poo out of newspaper, and I'm not gonna lie, that is no exaggeration, that is no word of a lie. We literally spent basically 8 hours making poo out of newspaper for these children because we were helping a guy who ran a museum of poo. And I'm not gonna lie, this guy was lovely. We had such a nice time with him. He was really caring, he was so helpful. He made the job really easy for us. He could have been rushing us around to do loads of things, but we were literally there to help him demonstrate, talk about, make poo. And this story will never ever be not a little bit odd, but that was just something that we did, we threw ourselves into. So we had this day, we ate a lot of mint imperials for some reason because we were allowed in the staff room bit, and they had loads of mint imperials and biscuits and stuff, so we were just there stuffing our faces at the same time. It was great. Yeah, we helped this guy make poo for the day. Now, when you're applying for a social media course, people aren't looking for what your poo making skills are like. So we had to then extract from that what our skills were that we had learnt from that. This is where the beauty of volunteering comes in, because like I said, you do not have to volunteer for what you actually want to do in the future. Anyone could volunteer and make poo for a day and still have a cracking personal statement. We had to then pull out and see what were the skills that we learnt. So we learnt how to help and manage children, being active within our community. We had some good communication skills. We were organising things because the man needed us to organise things. We had some presenting skills going on because we were helping present stuff to children. All good things like that. And they were all really transferable skills that we could then put within our personal statement. But had we not volunteered, taken that chance and actually had a bit of a weird day and eaten a lot of mint imperials, would we then be able to put that in our personal statement? This is going to be a bit of a spoiler alert. When you are writing your personal statement, trust me, you are going to want to have the most things that you could ever possibly imagine already done for you, and already things that you can add to it. Because let me tell you, we're going to cover this at a later date, but writing a personal statement is no small challenge. Yes, it might be 500 words, but it is one of the hardest 500 words I've ever had to write. It's pretty challenging. So you are going to want to make sure that you have done at least 4 or 5 volunteering things. They can be within school, they can be outside of school, they can be opportunities that school has given you. But let me tell you, you are going to want to do something. You are also going to want to volunteer even if you are the only person there. Regardless of who is there, regardless of who thinks what is cool, doesn't matter. If you have an extra thing to put in your personal statement, in a few months' time, you're going to be in a much stronger position than that person that thought they were too good to volunteer for the Poo Museum. So please, 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 don't come to this with any pride or any oh my god, I got to volunteer here. Because at the end of the day, volunteering is volunteering, whether you're volunteering at Buckingham Palace or whether you're volunteering making poo all day. It's all the same. I also want to say, in terms of things like this, seize every opportunity, because you never know where an opportunity is going to lead. So, for example, me and Ez, the dream team, we started the sixth form blog. Now, our head of sixth form, we were asking him about opportunities, things extra we could do. We were being quite active within school and trying to get as many things as we could going on. So he said, basically, set up a sixth form blog, we'll let you have a page on the website and do whatever you like with it. Obviously, within reason, we had to go through checks to make sure we weren't doing anything wrong, but basically he gave us the reins of a sixth form blog. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Ez mainly took charge of this because she wanted to go and study English literature, so this was a bigger thing for her. However, I got to then do the photos of it and help out with bits. And then that was an amazing thing to put on my UCAS, that I had started the first ever sixth form blog and I had taken photos. We got to literally take photos of the academy leaders. Our head of sixth form gave us so many more opportunities because of that, because he knew that we were running this and that we were doing this, that he gave us more opportunities that led to more opportunities. Because he was like, okay, you're taking more initiative, you can do this and then you can do that and we're going to give you this and you can talk to these people. Obviously that never led to anything absolutely massive happening. Who knows? It could have done. But we took every opportunity that we could, because taking an opportunity, you're never going to miss out on anything. Sometimes he'd literally come in the morning and be like, okay, our academy leaders are going to be here in about 10 minutes. Can you make sure that you go downstairs and take some photos with them? And we'd be like, yeah, okay. You kind of have to have a quick turnaround with stuff like that. But it was definitely amazing, and we were so thankful to him for giving us these opportunities, because he saw that we were the people that volunteered for the festival. Then he said, do you want to start a sixth form blog? Then he said, okay, now you can meet these people and meet these people. And we got to make a good impression on people. We just got to talk to people. And ultimately, who knows? That could have led to something else. There is no limit of where opportunities can take you. And just saying yes to things is so vital. Like I said, please don't say yes to a million things if you're in an exam year. If you're in year 11 or in year 13, leave volunteering and those opportunities until your big long summer, because you need to focus on your exams. If you're in year 12, make the most out of a couple free periods. We actually were allowed within our school and our sixth form to, on I think it was one free period a week or something, we had it called charter time, where we were actually actively encouraged to either be taking part in work experience or volunteering, and that was really helpful for us. Now, I didn't do it 1 hour a week, I kind of just did it here and there where it suited me, but trying to set something up like that is really going to be beneficial. Also, it's really good to have a variety of things done. So if you did say, for example, 1 hour a week a work experience here, try and get another few opportunities and volunteer things, because ultimately it kind of looks better when you've done more, and when you can say, oh, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. If you spent 40 weeks working somewhere 1 hour a week, you're still going to have the same skills. But if you can switch it up, talk to new people, grab onto new opportunities, that is going to be amazing for you. And really, it's just going to set you ahead. This is the reality of it. Everybody is going to have pretty much the same grades, regardless. You could apply to a uni, their entry requirements be ABB. There are going to be thousands of other uni students that are going to be applying that have also got ABB. But then what is going to set you apart from those other uni students? It's going to be your personal statement. And the same for when you go for a job. There'll be thousands of people applying. But what's going to set you apart? What is on your CV? So if you can have lots of volunteering, then you can pull out your transferable skills. That is going to get you so far, and that will be what picks you out against a bunch of other people, because I can guarantee that there'll be lots of people that won't volunteer at all, and one, they're going to find their personal statement really hard, and two, when it comes to getting opportunities and picking things out for people want to see that they've taken some initiative, that they've said yes to other things, that they have transferable skills and life experience. Life experience is never going to be something that loses its value. Whether you did it when you were 12, whether you did it when you were 24, it is still going to be exactly the same value, and you are still going to be able to write about that for the rest of your life. It's never going to leave you. Once you've done something once, you can say that you've done it for the rest of your life. And building this up when you are younger, when you have more time, when you have those free periods, make the most of it, take advantage of it. That's really going to help you. So, with teacher opportunities, I also want to say that it is always a good idea to say yes. If your teacher says, oh, could you help me with this? Oh, could you help me with that? Try and do it. One, you can write this down in your personal statement. You can say, I was actively involved within the school, I was filing stuff, I helped communicate with the teachers, etc., etc. Whenever you write about stuff like this and you write about your transferable skills, it's always kind of fluffed up a bit. So don't be afraid to not lie. You never ever want to lie, and I'm going to say that right now, and I'm going to say that really clear. But when you say stuff, you need to kind of, if you put it in a fancier word, so say, for example, you don't want to say, I was just talking to my teachers. You want to say, I was helping with communication between teachers. Something like that. You want to use those more fancy words, and you've actually done it. Don't lie because you have done it. You've just used a fancier word. And that sets you apart from other people. But with teacher opportunities, if a teacher asks you to do something and you obviously have the time for it, just say yes. One, that is going to put you in their good books, and they are going to probably ask you to do more things in the future. Doing more things will lead to more opportunities. Your teacher could have a really cool opportunity and then pick the person that has been helping them the most. So regardless of whether you like your teacher or not, regardless of whether you think it's a good thing to be doing, always just try and help out. Just be active and just be thinking. You don't have to do it every day. You could maybe say, okay, I'm going to do one volunteering thing once a month, and that would be more than enough to write down. You don't even have to do it that often. You could say once every 2 months. But doing something is always going to be better than nothing. And like I've said, this is transferable, and then you can add it to your personal statement and you can add it to your CV and things to come later on in life. Because once you have that experience, you can't take it away from yourself. You've got it there. Now you're going to start volunteering and you're going to say, okay, like, what do I do? So I volunteered, now what do I do? Please make a note of this. You are going to be absolutely devastated if you've done all this stuff and then you cannot remember it. The Pooh Museum stuck out in my mind for obvious reasons. However, there were a few things that I'd actually done that I'd forgotten about, and Ez had made this amazing list of everything that she'd done. And basically we kind of did everything together. So make a list, do it on your phone, write all the things that I volunteered for and list them out, and trust me, this list is going to be absolutely invaluable for you when you go and write anything to do with your life. What is the takeaway for today? I want you to take away from this episode that volunteering and actively helping out is going to be so vital. It is going to be setting you apart from other students, and it's going to be so helpful for when you write your CV and your personal statement. And starting now, when you have a bit more free time, is really going to help you later on in life. Once you've done it for life, and you never have to do it again. Opportunities are great, and the more you take advantage of them, the more that comes around. And one day you might get an absolutely amazing one that you are going to be so thankful that you did all the groundwork for that to appear. So that was the episode today. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, remember to share it on Instagram, tag us at Stylish Study. We would love to see, and we will see you next week with a brand new episode. Goodbye.